So, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As everyone is aware, the disease challenges we are facing since last 3 years almost, the mastery problem of swollen kidney syndrome, which can be, in technical terms, it is called nephroma. It is hunting everybody. All of a sudden, the birds become listless, and dehydration is there, and sudden mortality shoots up, and there is a spike in mortality. It starts from 8 days, as early as 8 days. There are different age groups, 8 days, then 22nd day, then 28 days. Then after 32 days, which is causing severe losses to all the poultry fraternities and integrators and farmers. Number one, if you look into this problem and dwell into deeper into the problem, if you send the samples for serology and PCR, there are complex findings are being noticed. Some say it is adenovirus, some say it is CAV, but the exact cause is still not known, because not diagnosed perfectly, because it is a complex of the problems. The complication of MG and MS also. So since last 3 years, particularly at the onset of rainy season, we are experiencing such problems and huge mortalities. Then second thing, in every summer, we face huge mortalities because of VND outbreaks, VVND. So this summer is also not an exception to that one. But my question is whether current vaccines are not able to protect the field virus, number one. Number two, what this mystery problem that is nephroma, swollen kidney is. So we have invited different subject specialists for this webinar, so that we can conclude something at the end of this webinar, and this will help solving the problems at field level by every veterinarian. So you see, if certain problem is there, the nutritionist says, see that in a different angle. Pathologist says this is in his angle. So that's why we have gathered the subject specialist, nutritionist, pathologist, virologist, immunologist, and producers like Dr. Phadke to have a chat and discussion with all of you. You can raise the questions while the webinar is on, and this is just to ignite the subject and open up the subject. I have started it, and I know right now hand over to Dr. Ranade sir for introduction of panelists and moderating this webinar. Thank you. Please enjoy the discussion, and hope at the end we'll come to some conclusion that this problem is because of this, and what are the solutions these experts offer to entire poultry fraternity. Over to you, Ranade sir.
Thank you, and very good afternoon, everybody. I won't take much of a time. Most of the introduction has been done by Dr. Ajay Deshpande. However, the topic relates to the present situation and the problems that are faced by the poultry sector, separately by broiler sector, layer sector, as well as breeder sectors. Definitely, diseases, heavy mortality, and some of the issues which Dr. Ajay has mentioned are very, very important and pertinent, and basically we need to address them. In addition to that, there are many other issues also, like unplanned expansion, the number game, the size of the bird, the availability of maize because of diversion to ethanol, large size broilers being produced, and there are many other issues which need to be addressed. As Dr. Ajay Deshpande has rightly pointed out, everyone has a say in this matter, and everyone has a different perspective of looking towards the problem. So we have gathered few people over here, and let me first start with Dr. Ajay Deshpande himself, as he has already introduced the subject. Dr. Ajay, my first question would be that In fact, everybody knows what the situation is. But you being a producer, integrator, I mean, you can be considered as a farmer also, you can be a integrator also, you can be a supplier of hatching eggs also, and you can be a person who is marketing the birds in the market. So when you look at your scenario of all these activities, what you feel that which of these sectors could be considered as guilty for the present situation? Is it breeders? Is it the vaccination at the breeding level? Is it the management at the farm level? Is it the pathogens that are taking an upper hand because of a faster R&D? Whether the vaccines are failed or failing, or what is the reason? What could be, according to you, would be the guilty factor, number one? And second part to this question is, what kind of interventions you expect by the government or by the sector itself to resolve this issue? Over to you, Ajay.
Sir, I look it at a very precise way. Number one, obviously, everybody is guilty of this one because there is overproduction. And if you look at the placements at right and left and breadth and length of the country, there was a huge placements without basics being followed, basic biosecurity and all those things. So that is one of the reason. Breeder vaccination is also contributing to this one, particularly breeder vaccination and MGMS programs that are not being strictly followed, I think so. So the contribute factors are many. We integrators themselves are guilty of placing too much chicks and applying pressure on placement without any cleaning and without any gap between the two batches and biosecurity precautions. Particularly when ND and VVND outbreaks are there, proper disposal is not being followed, which we veterinarians should educate to the farmers. And these basic things are missing, I think. So it's a complex of all the situations together, which I think the subject specialist will speak because there is compulsions of using the maize, which is not of good quality, particularly we are getting it from Bihar and UP, which contains lot of toxins that may be contributing to this problem because of immunosuppressions and lack of awareness about the various diseases, particularly CAV, then this adenovirus and vaccination to save the cost at breeder level. That is also contributing to this issue. Then, so these are the complications. We can't hold somebody guilty wholly to contribute this problem. So it is a chain. It is vertical business. It starts from breeder to integrator, then psychology of the farmer and veterinarians too. So this is my opinion.
Right. So in fact, according to you, it's jointly being contributing to the situation which is there right of now. So now, after you, I would like to move on to Dr. Phadke. Definitely, Dr. Ajay Deshpande, as we all know, he is the president of Vets in Poultry. He doesn't need much of an introduction. That's the reason why I didn't introduce him, because we all know he has been in the chair of president of Vets in Poultry for a second term now. But now we have the panelists, and it's my duty to introduce all of them one by one. Of course, we all know them. They are there in the field. They are helping us a lot. They are contributing a lot. But now let us welcome Dr. Phadke. As Dr. Phadke is also on the same lines, is a big farmer in Nasik area. And he is also an integrator. He is also a producer. He is also a farmer, and he has been there in the field for so many years, firmly standing, in spite of a lot of odds. And so let me ask Dr. Phadke first that what, in your opinion, are the major challenges? First, with respect to the diseases, and second, the other issues which the sector is facing right now, number one. And of course, what are the solutions to that? Because you yourself is a renowned pathologist, so you can have some solutions. The way you are handling the situation at your level, at your farms, if you could give some insight to all of us, it will be great. So over to Dr. Phadke, please.
Good evening, all. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Don't worry. No problem.
Okay. So, as Dr. Ajay rightly said, the first problem in this summer was because of the overplacement or the number game. So, the placement was there without cleaning the farm or with removing the litter. Already the climate is challenging because of hot summer, and as every year there was the outbreaks of ND, LPI, HPI in various sectors. So if you don't follow the basic animal husbandry practices, cleaning, rest, then any vaccine can't help for this producer. But it was because they don't have any solution, and in the latter phase they corrected and reduced the placements. So now the situation has improved. But compared to last 2 years, this year's mortality in the operators were more than 15%, 20%, or 25%. So that's horrible. Normally in the summer we face a 2 or 3% escalation in the mortality. So that was because of the ND and the CRD and LPI. The major other problem with this was the hatchery vaccination. The most of the people, operators, are now doing the vector vaccine, ND vector and immunocomplex IBD vaccine at hatchery, and no vaccine at the farm. So to have a major control on the vaccinations instead of the farmers. So that's the theory is good, but the practical thing is that once you do the ND vaccine at the hatchery, the immunity you get is after 18 to 21 days, or some get at 24 days. The life cycle of the broiler is 42 days, out of which half is open, and already area is endemic, and no farm vaccination. So I think that situation may not work in the long run. The vaccine companies, they are suggesting the only hatchery vaccines. They are from the Western world, or the other. Their situation is different. Our population, our situation is different. So we have to adopt it. They are good. I am not criticizing them. It's a new science, and we have to adopt it. But we have to mold it according to our conditions. Plus, along with this, some did the spray vaccines also. So that was the horrible. Those who did that spray vaccines, I think they know the effect of it. So that is the one of the factor. So situation already, because they suffered financially, the companies later they controlled the productions, and now situation is okay. What about the Deshpande? Dr. Deshpande mentioned about the kidney lesions. I think it is more or less the IBH only. It is the adenovirus infections only. And the major reasons is the adenovirus itself is not pathogenic unless it is predisposed by the toxins or the CAV and the immunosuppression. IBD is also, nowadays IBD is very common and missed by many veterinarians. But the subclinical IBD is very common in the field. So anything like CAV, IBD, or the toxins, they generally provoke the kidney lesions and the IBH. So that's the current situation. And immediately we have to do the vaccination of the breeders. Now the adenovirus vaccines, the IBH vaccines have also improved, and they are working well. So if the people work on that, operators works carefully on the toxins and immunity and IBD, then I think it can be controlled. But it's a major problem. And regarding these kidney lesions, our pre-starter diet is very concentrated. So the glomeruli, the unit of the kidney, development completes by 6 or 7 days. Before that, it is not completed. So if you load the pre-starter diet with the high protein or the high sodium like that, or toxins, it will definitely show the kidney lesions and the further consequent into IBH or the other problems. And some of the E. coli CRD are also basically because of the kidney lesions, just nephritis, avian nephritis, or kidney lesions. This because these bird sits in the litter and they get secondarily infected with the coli. And most of the veterinarians, they term as the E. coli or CRD, but basically their problem is lies in the kidney. So I think it may be related to avian nephritis virus. I think Dr. Chawak can explain.
Yeah, I'm coming to him.
Some vaccines like the Astro vaccines, they are now skipped by some of the breeders. Some of the breeders they skip. I think that Astro vaccine also works well and most related to avian nephritis virus. So I think the people should not miss that Astro vaccines also. I think that's from my side.
Right.
I'll contribute or answer to questions. Anyone has
Yeah, and then about other issues, I'll come to you again after some time. But before that, let me move on to Dr. M.M. Chawak. As we all know, Dr. M.M. Chawak is in charge of PDRC, and he has done his doctorate from IVRI Izzatnagar in avian diseases, and he has been helping a lot of farmers in disease diagnosis and advising about what exactly should be done. So in fact, I wanted to go to Dr. Nataraja first, but before that, as everybody is talking more about the diseases, let me come to Dr. Chawak, and would like to ask you the questions pertaining to the diseases, like what are the major causes. Now Dr. Deshpande and Dr. Phadke has already narrated the field experiences, what is happening in the field, what they are encountering, and their judgments about it. Now, you being sitting at the helm of affairs and receiving so many samples every day and analyzing them, what are the major challenges, I would say, which are the reasons for the mortality in the present situation and the summer, which we have recently passed, we have recently gone through. Dr. Chawak, please.
Good evening, everybody. As Dr. Ajay Deshpande has rightly pointed out regarding the liver and kidney infection, and recently of late we started getting, since 15 days, we are getting this kidney infection and liver infection, swollen kidney, etc. And it's more prevalent in West Zone and then Northern Karnataka, and so far no complaints we received from Northern Zone or down south. And we screened a lot of samples. Last 15 days we screened 307 samples, and out of which only 20 were positive for IBH or adenoviruses. That means only 6% samples were positive for this IBH. And we screened by HP also, and by HP only 8 samples were positive. From Bangalore area, we screened around 267 samples, and only 12 samples were positive for IBH. That means hardly 4.5% samples were positive. That means some other factor is also responsible for this liver and swollen kidney infection. So along with this nephrosis, nephritis, and this liver infection, we are getting enteritis also, gizzard erosion also, and blackish content in the gizzard. So it indicates sometimes involvement of CAB also. So second issue is CRD complex, and predominantly E. coli and air circularitis will be there. And third issue is Newcastle disease. In summer months, this summer we had lot of Newcastle disease problems, and right from 7 to 8 days, we used to get Newcastle disease issues till the end, and it's causing sometimes 100% mortality also. So we have to look holistically, and we consider it as a multifactorial problems. If you see the last year summer, we had last year more LPI problem than ND problem. But this year, ND problems were more than LPI problems. And it caused havoc, of course, and no vaccination program could solve this problem. That is a fact. Again, apart from adenoviruses, we are getting mycotoxins nowadays, which is very important factor for this liver and kidney infection. We are testing aflatoxin, ochratoxin, T2 toxin, fumonisin, etc. And we are getting lot of maize samples which are having very high content of aflatoxin, more than 300 ppb also. And fumonisin also, it causes kidney issues, and we are getting high fumonisin levels also. So, and apart from that, we are getting E. coli infection and CRD complex, and most of the times E. coli is resistant to almost all antibiotics and is difficult to control. And role of immunosuppressive condition is always suspected with this for flaring of colobacillosis, and immunosuppressive conditions could be subclinical IBD also, subclinical CAV also, and or mycotoxins in feed. And as Dr. Phadke rightly pointed out, avian nephritis virus, we are regularly screening for avian nephritis virus, but we could not get any PCR positive case for avian nephritis. Leave apart isolation. And of course, astroviruses, we are getting in some cases where they have not parents, where they have not vaccinated parents for astroviruses. That condition is there. So definitely we have to look for subclinical conditions like IBD and CAV. Regarding IBD, many people they are doing this immunocomplex vaccines, but single immunocomplex vaccine, it seems, is not sufficient to protect the birds. So additional IBD plus vaccine needs to be given. Even for ND, nowadays people they are giving so many vaccines at hatchery, but still the disease persists. So we have to see regarding the efficacy of those vaccines also. Then comes the managemental factors, particularly in broilers, as Dr. Deshpande and Dr. Phadke rightly pointed out, that regarding the contamination of water, managemental conditions, and so many things are there. Suboptimal doses of water sanitizers, improper uses of different sanitizers, etc. And they will be definitely responsible for increased colobacillosis cases. And if you see the layer growers, I'm taking all the things at a time. Layer growers, particularly in present situation, colobacillosis and CAV is major disease conditions. And it could be because of after effect of CAV, coccidiosis, mycotoxicosis, and seasonal water contamination. And we are getting necrotic enteritis also in between 10 to 16 weeks of age, maybe because of very heavy fly population in the sheds. In fact, in summer months also, in commercial broilers, we used to have a lot of fly population in broilers as well as in layers also. And one more thing is sudden production drop cases are also seen in layers. Could be because of toxicity or LPI or Newcastle disease. Individually, we have to investigate the conditions, and then only we can come to certain conclusions. There are some sporadic cases of swollen head, ORT, and coryza also. And then if you see the breeders, the major condition we are facing right now is calcium tetany in 24 to 36 weeks of age. So we have to prevent that condition also, that is metabolic, and definitely there are certain things we have to do in pre-layers. So we have to take care of Newcastle disease, we have to take care of LPA, and then afterwards adenoviruses. In certain conditions, in Newcastle disease, we are getting a lot of neurological cases also. So lameness and certain even neck twisting, etc. We are observing in commercial layer also, and even in commercial broilers also sometimes at the age of 34 to 46 weeks of age. So definitely, what type of viruses are prevalent, that is particularly IBH viruses, we are continuously isolating only 8B, not 4 or 11. So controlling of 8B is very important. And of course, all the companies, they claim that all these strains they are having 4, 8, 8B and 11. So definitely we have to see those conditions also. Then breeder vaccination is very important.
Yeah, Dr. Chawak, yes, I was about to come to that. I just felt like, you made us a tour of a pathology museum, unfortunately. So, so it's okay. The facts we cannot deny. But then what's the way forward? I have two specific questions to you. Number one is, of course, about the breeder vaccinations. And second is about IBH, whether we can protect the broilers at a day-old stage by IBH vaccination. First, of course, the breeder vaccination. What are your views? Now you have listed so many things. Out of that, what all could be controlled at breeder level and how? That's what we exactly want from you. Because the situation we know, everyone knows. Now what's the way forward? Please.
Yeah, of course, breeder vaccinations are very important. And for IBH, particularly for IBH, pre-lay vaccinations definitely we have to do, field vaccines. And many people, they skip mid-lay vaccination. So they should not skip the mid-lay vaccination, and definitely they should go for mid-lay vaccination also. That is for IBH. And for Mycoplasma control program, it should start in the breeders, that either they can go for live vaccines or field vaccines or continuous medication, that is monthly medication, they can go for MG and MS. So these are different things. Then if you do all these things, so along with that, in commercials, you can go for IBH field vaccine at day old. That is very important.
Yeah, that is what is important. Yeah, I wanted that. Yeah.
Because maternal antibody, particularly, they might not be uniform. So in that case, it's better to go for IBH vaccination at day old stage.
Sir, sorry to disturb you again in between. But as you said that out of the so many samples you screened for IBH,
yeah,
you found only 2% of the samples positive for IBH.
6% samples, yeah.
Maximum 6%, 6 to 8%, yeah.
6 to 8% samples. So what else is the problem is that? So it is not likely that we are focusing only on IBH, or is it something else which is contributor more than IBH in the mortality?
Yeah, in the present situation, particularly in this season, what's happening, quality of maize is a problem. So along with quality of maize, other immunosuppressive factors, they are also playing role. And because of those immunosuppressive factors, adenovirus is getting upper hand, or it's causing complex. Even if you see IBD cases, subclinical IBD cases are rising very much. Probably people, they are not noticing it, but we are finding a lot of subclinical IBD cases also. So it can be a cause of immunosuppression. So that's why the mortality is high. So it's a multifactorial.
Yeah, and there are a lot of strains of IBH vaccine that are available now, I believe, right? So wisely choosing the proper strain is something which is going to help, right? That's what I also feel. And in addition to that, you mentioned about nephrosis and nephritis. They are complicating the issue, and that's the problem, right? Okay. Dr. Chawak, thank you very much. We will come back to you again
Thank you.
with the help of Dr. Phadke and Dr. Ajay Deshpande, because they may have some more questions. But before that, let's go to the next panelist whom we have. And he is, of course, a person from nutrition. And we all know him. He is Dr. Nataraja. He's basically, he has worked earlier with VH Group, but now he has his own feed manufacturing. So, Dr. Nataraja, are you around?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Very good evening. Very good evening. Very good evening. We have been talking about diseases and lots of other viruses and other conditions. That's one side of the story. But as we have been talking about maize, quality of availability of maize, quality of other raw materials, the kind of quality and the toxins that are being contributed by the raw materials to the feed. What are the major nutritional challenges faced by the poultry sector in this particular scenario and during the recent past, which have contributed and have added to the situation in a negative way? Would you please highlight on that?
Yeah, sir. Good evening. The way the broiler industry is growing and expanding, definitely there will be pressure on the procurement of the key ingredients like good quality maize and soybean meal. There is a protein glut in the industry. For another 2 years, the protein cost will be down. But getting
Dr. Nataraja, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You want to see also while you talk.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
Please. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the way the industry is expanding, there is definitely a lot of pressure on the procurement of maize, and getting good quality maize is not an easy job like earlier. And you have to compromise and actually to run because there is a huge requirement of the feed, especially for the contract broiler farming, and you need to run the feed mill and to supply to have a regular supply. You need to accept with some compromise, and wherein actually there may be like chances of this like mycotoxin problem, and this can cause a lot of immunosuppression diseases and it can predispose for the like some disease like IBH and other viral diseases. And but there is no other way. But actually, we have to have and this is not only affect only predisposed to the viral disease. It will be like there will be a lot of gut health challenges. And the gut health challenges have become, especially in the monsoon. And this year being early monsoon, we are witnessing a lot of dysbacteriosis, feed passage complaint, coccidiosis, and we don't have any like there is no magic bullet actually to have a good gut health integrity. But only thing actually we should consider numerous factors, starting from the parent chick quality, everything that is separate. But nutrition wise, actually, we should have holistic approach. It is not only the single additives like actually maybe which are antibiotic AGPs or other alternatives. And nowadays the challenges are there because we are moving to antibiotic-free feeding program. That's also the challenges there. Then to control, to have a good coccidiosis management program also, we have to rotate. We have only 5-6 molecules, and we have to rotate within those molecules. And we don't have any. There is no new molecules coming from last 20 years. And these are the challenges are there. And moreover, I attribute to one of the factor, that is actually these modern boilers, especially these fast-growing strains. They are more immunologically susceptible, and they're both humoral and actually cell-mediated response is very high. There is nothing called perfect environment in the system. You can't have perfect feed, perfect water quality, perfect management. Definitely there will be some lacuna in any one of the chain. And complete these birds, they're active. The immune system will get activated, and the gut being the largest immune organ in the body, around JLT, what we call gut-associated lymphatic this one tissue, that is 70% of the immune system the gut is forming. where it's easily susceptible, and definitely there will be inflammatory response, and the bird will start there will be dysbacterosis, wet litter, and coccidiosis. Then nitritis are common, and this is affecting the flock performance as well as the profitability, sir.
Yeah, that's right. You are very correct. One thing which I would like to ask you about, the maize crisis. Again and again, we are discussing about it. A lot of quantities are being diverted for ethanol production. What exactly the farmers are supposed to do, and what precautions they should take, while choosing an alternative or substituting maize, or exactly what is needed from the integrators and farmers to avoid putting oil into the situation, especially the disease problems.
Sir, only thing India being always, I always say it's an energy deficient nation, the country, and our oil prices are invariably high. We can't because when you see the oil prices, they are always on a higher side, because we are importing the oil from other countries, and we have to, like this maize situation. Somehow actually we have to use some alternate grains, like maybe rice or something, which we can average out the moisture, and we can avoid the variation in the quality. Only I can feel I think in this context, actually we need to take the advantage of the enzymes, so that actually we can bring down the variation in the energy levels and also in the performance by using good quality NSP enzymes, maybe phytase or protease, actually, so that actually which are complement to each other, and we need to use this enzyme rationally, and with the proper matrix values and so that we should not underestimate, or at the same time we should not overestimate also, because in both way we actually will be losing it will affect the profitability. And definitely there will be a lot of additives are there in the market, prebiotics, probiotics. Then there are short chain fatty acids. Then they are also they are at the then maybe probiotics are there, prebiotics are there, short chain fatty acids are there, acidifiers are there. They are use rationally and try to minimize I can't say we can't 100% eradicate gut health issues, but we can minimize at least actually that inflammatory response to around 50%. That itself is a great this one, sir, actually.
Yeah. And with respect to the gut health, as we are referring to the issue of dysbacteriosis, what are your views and comments on dysbacteriosis, which is very commonly seen nowadays?
Sir, I think we need to answer from the basics. The dysbacteriosis, this is not actually the gut health. Last, I think we are this gut health term is the last 10-15 years we are using this as a buzzword. We need to we need to go with the basic. By and large, nowadays we are feeding the broiler feed. Broilers, we are feeding the pellets, and in this process, we are actually completely neglected the gizzard function, and we made it as actually, instead of actually functional and grinding organ, we made it as a transit organ. There is no scope for the gizzard. It becomes dysfunctional, and there will be, and gizzard is being a pacemaker of the digestive tract, and definitely it regulates the digestive movement. And if the gizzard function is good, then only I think we can definitely minimize a lot of problems with respect to the dysbacteriosis. And one is by controlling the particle size. And there is the nutritions are actually a dilemma, because if you want a good particle size, your pellet quality will be at a problem. And if you go for a fine grinding, then your gizzard health will be a problem. All these we have some practical problems also, but at the same time, I think of actually make it somehow useful by using more fiber. Means some sort of I'm using the word correct fiber. You have to use it at moderate levels to have the better gizzard function, so that actually we can definitely have some sort of good gut health we can achieve.
Right. So whatever was being termed as a anti-nutritional factor in olden times, when we were students, we were told fiber is anti-nutritional factor and all that. That has to be incorporated wisely by using your own wisdom in view of the present situation, to improve the gut health. And that's very, very important factor that you have mentioned. One last question.
One more thing I want to add,
Yes, sir.
As far as gut health is concerned, I believe the many coccidiostats are becoming resistant to this one. And this resistance problem is causing a nuisance again. because rovinidin, one of the most potent chemical anticoccidial, the coccidia are showing resistance to that one. So we need to identify properly before applying any anticoccidial program through feed.
Yeah, I think we'll go back to Dr. Chawak during our second round to talk to him about a little bit of coccidiosis. But before that, Dr. Nataraja, we have found that, in the initial stages, the broilers, the growth is very good. But during the finisher stages, the growth is affected and the percentage of culls is more. Right. So what in your opinion, are the nutritional reasons and what should be done to avoid these two things, basically?
I can say if you this is not the new problem. I think in India we are excellent in pre-starter. We do excellent in pre-starter, and up to starter stage we will be excellent, far above the global standard. But when it comes to the finisher, that's what actually opened by many. Whenever I interact with many foreign people who have come to visit when they are visited with Indian farm, they found actually they up to starter stage you are excellent, but finisher I think maybe there is a lacuna in biosecurity, and the problem with our feeding program also. We have only three feeding programs, and from 25 days roughly we start giving the finisher diet, and it goes up to 40 to 45 days, and around 20 days actually we maintain only one program, because definitely the 25-day bird requirement, nutrient requirement may not be same as the 42-day old, and at that time the challenges also huge, this one, and maybe it's the litter management or the poor water quality. Definitely there will be a lot of gut health issues will be there, and definitely it will the gut health, and there will be translocation of the bacteria from gut to the musculoskeletal system, and it creates lameness. The one thing is actually we can definitely have at least 2 program in the finisher stages, so that for every 10 days we will have 1 program, and at least we'll be close to the requirements of the birds. The nutrient requirements will be close, and it will help maybe definitely in we can address the issue by using some good growth promoters or alternative growth promoters, where this we can prevent this fibrosis. Coming to the fiber, I'll tell actually this can be one insoluble fiber, good quality insoluble fiber, which can help in the better gizzard function, can be used in moderate level, so that we can have a good gut health program.
Yeah, very correct. We have worked on that quite a lot. Now, before we move on to the next panelist, I have one small announcement. A lot of people, I can see on the screen, they are raising their hands. It is not possible to allow them to speak because of the paucity of time, but I would request them to, type the message or the question, whatever it is, and post it so that, I can read it and I can ask to the respective panelist. Now we move to the next panelist, who is coming from the belt of layers, who is coming from an institute which is, I would say, completely dedicated to the poultry production, and it's none other than the Veterinary College at Namakkal, and he is Dr. Gowthaman, who has extensively been working in the layer belt, and so far we have been basically talking about broilers and the problems associated with that, but in layer belts also there are a lot of issues, and especially in the present scenario, the layer farmers and the layer belt is facing different kinds of problems about which we are not very much aware, but there are many farmers in the audience who are layer farmers. So first let me introduce Dr. Gautam and ask him what are the major endemic diseases present in the layer sector as of now, especially in the southern part of the country and throughout the country. Dr. Gowthaman, please. Kindly switch on your, yeah, that's fine.
Am I audible, sir, now?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good evening to all. Really, the endemic disease burden is one of the huge challenge for the layer industry throughout India. And there are few diseases which is almost endemic and regularly reported throughout the year. And the major issue in the layer industry is one is that low pathogenic avian influenza H9N2 virogenic Newcastle disease complex. And outbreaks usually they are very common in growing and the early lay stage, mostly during the onset of lay and also peak lay. The outbreak ranges between the 18 weeks to 30 weeks of age. Major risk factor is that we observed is mainly the poor vaccine coverage. Like usually 2 to 3 LPA vaccines and nearly 5 to 6 Newcastle disease vaccines, including live and killed, are required depending upon the endemicity of the problem in a particular area. Again, there is no fixed vaccine schedule. It depends upon the endemicity of the problem and the disease occurs in a particular form. So accordingly, the farmers has to manage the standardize their vaccine schedule according to the farm conditions. Number one. The other major risk factor is that the low body weight. Low body weight, high stress density, these are all the other issues which precipitate the Newcastle disease and phylogenetic disease complex. Mainly, if the birds are not attaining target body weight, if the body weight is nearly 100 to 150 grams lower than the standard, they suffer more with the pathology. This is the main reason that some farms they had a light incidence of disease. Some farms have suffered very huge mortality and express severe clinical signs, and it's so prolonged course of the diseases. What we observe is mainly due to the low body weight and also presence of some immunosuppressive factors like mycotoxin underlying this issue. Other important factor what the farmers often neglect is that the persistence of the virus in the pipeline. Which is the main factor leading to the outbreaks immediately after shifting of the grower birds to the layer set. Usually, farmers used to shift the birds around 17 to 18 weeks of age from the layer grower set to layer sets. So, within a week after that, immediately the birds show signs of Newcastle disease and ILT. This is mainly due to because of the persistence of the virus in biofilms. Though farmers used to clean the pipelines with the acid, they are not properly observing whether it is properly cleaned or not. This is one of the major factors. And when we use proper chemical sanitizers to clean the pipeline, this afterwards the outbreaks are getting stopped. So this is one of the major ignored factors of pipeline cleaning and persistence of the virus in the biofilm. This is a major risk factor for Newcastle disease and LPA complex. And if the farmers properly do vaccination, definitely they will get rid of this factor. And other major issue what we observe in southern India is infectious laryngotracheitis. Outbreaks are more common during growing stage as well as point of play like phylogenetic Newcastle disease and vaccine complex. And due to the latent nature of the herpes virus, ILT is highly persistent in multi-age operations. And the virus can, like other ND and LPA, it can well survive in the biofilms and subsequent to the transmitted to the subsequent batches. This is one of the pattern of the infectious laryngotracheitis what being regularly observed in southern India. Important risk factor is that since it is latent and whenever the birds undergo stress, like heat stress or vaccination or handling stress or peak laying stress, this will lead to precipitation of the infectious laryngotracheitis. And other major issue what we commonly neglected in the field is that infectious bronchitis. So the prevalence is more than 50% in the layer operations, whatever we did our BBSRC scheme. So we observed all kind of variants, mainly the 793 variant, Indian nephropathogenic variant, MOS, classical MOS, IBV, and QX variants also present in India. But silent disease, like it doesn't show any obvious clinical signs or huge mortality like Newcastle disease or infectious laryngotracheitis. It is characterized by, it's mainly characterized by mild to moderate drop in egg production. The birds will not failure to attain peak production or sudden post-peak dips. This is the peculiarity of the characteristic peculiarity of the infectious bronchitis in the field. And if the standard is around 93-94%, means the bird may get a percentage of flying percentage of around 89 to 91%. And farmer often think that it's a non-specific issue and it's often ignored. And if you see the mortality pattern, the mortality will be slightly higher than the basal standard level. For example, if the 1 to 2 birds per 10,000 birds means, sometimes you may get 1 bird per day, or sometimes you may get 5 birds per day, and other day you may get 7 to 8 birds per day. And again, there may be 1 or 2 birds. Like that, the mortality will highly vary, and it's slightly above the basal the standard. And the postmortem lesions are non-specific. It will look like like E. coli and salpingitis issue, mostly like the farmer often ignore it because of the non-specific lesions. And if you leave that case in the later stage, when the bird crosses 50 to 60 weeks of age, farmer may encounter more non-layers like penguin birds or like salpingitis will be the higher incidence of salpingitis in later stage of age because of the early affections of oviduct. And apart from that, the egg quality abnormalities, both internal and external quality are very often observed in the farm. Like there is an increased incidence of leathery eggs, broken eggs, watery albumin and all. And coming to the diagnosis, it is a tricky virus to diagnose because its isolation is very tough and because of the variant nature of the virus, no initial primer is able to detect the virus within a single PCR reaction. We have to keep on using panel of PCR primers to detect the virus. And Indian virus, we need a separate primers, and like variant virus, we need a separate primers. This is one of the practical difficulty in detecting the virus at the laboratory level. Major risk factor for infectious bronchitis is mainly the wrong vaccine strain selection and improper vaccination, because we always depend upon the Western vaccine schedule like 4/91 and mass strains for infectious bronchitis control. It again case varies between the farm to farm and depending upon the strain which is prevalent in the farm. And there is no much study about the protective typing property of the Indian nephropathogenic variants against the prevailing Indian strains. This is another limiting factor for control of infectious disease in the field. Other major issue, emerging issue what we face in the field is that chicken infectious anemia and fowl adenovirus complex. It is one of the major cause of broiler depletion in the field. The mortality may start around 5 weeks and it extend up to 20 weeks of age. Though CAV has been described as a disease of chicks, now the CAV is being reported in the adults also, like even up to 20 weeks of age. The major risk factor for this CAV is that mainly poor body weight and uniformity, overcrowding, poor gut health, and delaying in the shifting of the chicks to the grower house, which all precipitate to the outbreak of the CAV and fowl adenovirus complex. Severity depending upon the co-infection status and risk factors in the farm. If CAV alone means that the risk factors are if the birds are less stressed, means the bird will recover very easily. Whereas if it is co-infected with fowl adenovirus and overcrowding and body weight is poor, means like the mortality may go up to 15 to 20%. And other biggest problem with treating CAV is that treatment failure are very common. Though we use higher antibiotics, still sometimes it fails. It is one of the reasons for the development of antimicrobial resistance also. Nowadays, it is getting controlled only when we use long-acting drugs like long-acting amoxicillin classes or long-acting penicillins. Then other common issue is that now emerging issue in the field is that salmonellosis, which is very common in adult laying hens, especially after 30 weeks of age. The prevalence of fowl typhoid is more common than non-typhoidal salmonellosis in layers. Mainly the fowl, the non-typhoidal salmonellosis, the prevalence is less than 10. It is a zoonotic significant. It is asymptomatic. It is less than 2%. Incidence is less than 2%. Whereas fowl typhoid, it is quite commonly emerging in the field. And co-infection of non-typhoidal salmonella along with salmonella gallinarum, that is fowl typhoid, is also being observed. The peculiar feature of the disease is sudden onset of mortality along with the drop in egg production. The major risk factor is the poor farm management, mainly the boulder side, the rodent problem, unhygienic farm conditions, improper waste disposal, and use of animal protein sources. These are all the major risk factors for non-typhoidal salmonellosis, which is it is again very tricky disease to treat.
Sorry to disturb you, Dr. Vasudevan. Can you highlight on the recent outbreak of the HPI in the coastal Andhra, and what will suggest as you are working in government? So as a government, will you recommend the HPI vaccines in the future for the government from the colleges and the institutions for that? Because already people are using some, but they are not legal. So I think rather than that issue, this HPI issue is a very challenging one, and the farms are getting flat in 3-4 days. Similar outbreaks we are seeing in the Alibag area or coastal area, and the major reason for that is the migratory birds. So that's not in our hand, or the farmers' management, or the practices and the nutrition. We can't stop migratory birds. So and generally the Alibag pattern is related to migratory birds only. When they migrate the birds, the last 3-4 years we are seeing similar mortality because of the HPI. So as a government, you worked in Bhopal lab also. So as a government institute, will you recommend for the HPI vaccines allowed to be in India? Please highlight.
Sir, it is again, it's government hand, like, whether we recommend or not recommend, it is government has to decide vaccination policy. Like, Western, it depends, like usually as per the government action plan for control of HPI is that India adopted non-vaccine policy. And it is being commonly practiced throughout the Europe and America. Where the culling is more prevalent practice to control in order to avoid the virus evaluation. So that's what country follows as of today now. At this stage, like it is very too early to comment on vaccination issue unless until it's like the Bhopal lab decides this issue.
Sir, I would like to comment on this matter because
Yeah, please go ahead.
I'm representing VIP. Thanks to all VIPs for the support. We're lobbying to the government of India for allowing this HPI live vaccine to be imported in India and to be manufactured in India. So till last year, I think the authorities are very adamant that they were not talking about the subject. On the subject also, they were not allowing to open up the subject also, as far as this HPI vaccine is concerned. But the fundamentals are changing globally. Even US is suffering a lot because of HPI outbreaks. And if you look at the inflation there, as far as egg prices and chicken prices are concerned. Even few European countries, they have allowed experimental vaccinations and observing very closely. So now their government authorities, they are at least listening to the poultry sector. They are listening our grievances, because if every year these outbreaks are there, severe outbreaks are there, so there is the question of existence of this sector itself. So whenever necessary is a clause, as far as if you consider globally, there's OIE's guidelines, the comprehensive, the policy to control the HPI and LPI globally. So that has given, the schedule has been given, that program has been given up to 2029. And they also are recommending now the vaccination is only option to stop the spread of the virus. So they are positively looking into it, government now, and hopefully they will listen to the industry or poultry sector, and who are all again the participating VIP is again participating in the discussion, which is a nice one. They are inviting us, and I'm glad to share with everyone that industry fraternity, all the associations are pitching positively and pressurizing government to please allow this, because it's the question of existence of the industry.
Dr. Deshpande, I was about to ask a question pertaining to this little later, but now as you opened up the topic, let me ask you straight away that, see, the science is on one side, the commercial aspects are on the other side. The science is on one side, the government regulations, the adopting of the things by the government is different. How you feel that, VIP or anybody, as a matter of fact, a scientific community can draw a balance between these two, keeping the science also intact and alive, and also abiding by the commercial aspects and the rules and regulations of the government? What should be done?
No, the major concern of the government for not allowing this SPI vaccine is the export concern. So India is hardly exporting any chicken to other countries. So question is overruled, number one. Number two, the industry, and sorry for using industry word, the poultry sector.
Hmm.
Yeah, the poultry sector is experiencing huge losses, economic losses. And we need to act, somebody has to act it, because they are telling about the surveillance has to be increased. How the surveillance? This migratory was, as rightly pointed out by Dr. Phadke, how you carry out the surveillance of these wild birds coming from Europe and everywhere to the poultry farms. So that is not practically feasible. So what is feasible? And many people are importing it, the vaccine in black and injecting. They are getting good results. In South also, you see, the Poultry Federation of President Danda showed that vehicle, that vaccine bottle to the authorities. Yes, we are getting it on black and we are injecting to our flocks, and we are satisfied that we have protected our flocks. So that boldly they are telling it right now, and government also knows it.
Yeah, so it's a tricky situation, and one has to go through that. Now,
And the point is, instead of having illegal vaccines and paying cash, and there's no responsibility, now we have the legalized LPI vaccine from the Winkies. Like that, the legalized vaccine is always answerable.
right.
Why we are paying for that? So let us be legalized. Already the farmers are using illegal vaccine, and so it increase the unethical trade, and the farmers don't have guarantee. Though suppose some other disease comes with the illegal vaccines, then who is answerable? So
Yeah,
government
you're
will
right,
allow,
Dr.
definitely.
Sir, again, one more I want to share it with you. I was fortunate to be panelist today in the Asia arranged by the Asia Group regarding the GMO crop, GMO maize. So this is the burning and latest topic which has come in between the tariff negotiations between India and US also. So many points I could get from learn from that one. So the report says that already the GMO has been detected in the many foods in India. So the worries regarding worries what the common people have in mind about the health problems of GMO utilization. Already it is there in the food chain. So we have to explore that opportunity also. The same issue applies to these vaccines also, because many are importing and doing it. So why we can't legalize it?
Yeah, you're right. Can I once again request all the panelists to switch on the cameras, because I can see now Dr. Nataraja and Dr. Phadke. Kindly switch on the cameras so that the audience can have a look at who all are the panelists and what it is. Now, coming back to Gowthaman again, before I go to some of the questions which have been raised, I just wanted to ask him about the egg quality issues pertaining to the south region of the country, because now recently we heard that the eggs were exported from India to other countries in huge quantities, but then there are issues pertaining to right from the weight of the egg to the quality of the egg. So maybe the leathery eggs or the porous eggs or whatever. So how you look at it, and what would be the solution to that? Kindly switch on the mic, sir. Yeah.
Yes, sir. You rightly asked the question regarding the egg quality issues. It's a very biggest issue in the laying hen industry. Number one is that weight, failure to attain egg weight. It totally depends upon the nutrition and infectious causes. Nutrition is mainly with methionine and adjusting the energy levels. And coming to the infectious causes, it's mainly the small eggs or underweight eggs are mainly due to the infectious bronchitis. Mainly the small eggs are mainly due to infectious bronchitis and Newcastle disease. This is about the egg weight. Then coming to the egg quality issues, mainly external and internal quality. External quality is concerned mainly leathery eggs and cracked eggs. And there are different kind of cracks are observed. Like number one is that the scar cracks. if you observe the eggs under the torchlight, you can find star-like cracks. Mainly occurs due to the cage problem, like the wear and tear in the cages and old cages. It's important management issue regarding occurrence of star cracks. And the other one is that poor egg cell strength. If the egg cell strength is poor, again, it's more prone for the star cracks when it roll in the egg tray. And in coming to the infectious causes are concerned, the main reason for star cracks is Newcastle disease. When we observe the star cracks, when we apply Newcastle disease live and kill vaccine, really it gives immediate results. The issues getting solved if it is due to Newcastle disease within 10 days. The other type pattern of egg abnormality is that leathery eggs with or without watery albumin. The reason for leathery eggs are mainly due to excess phosphorus, Newcastle disease, especially when they are in early lay, infectious bronchitis. When infectious bronchitis is observed, you can find leathery eggs with watery albumin, and also avian metapneumovirus and avian influenza. These are all the key infectious diseases responsible for the leathery eggs. Other issue is that porous eggs. Porous eggs usually observed as older eggs. Whenever they cross the age of 60, 65, the porous eggs are very common. Another major reason for porous eggs is that due to the cell gland defect mainly occur in infectious bronchitis, which mainly affects the different parts of the oviduct, which is responsible infectious factor for porous eggs. And other issue is that egg cell apex abnormalities. Whenever the farmers change the trays, shifting the eggs from the farm to the load the vehicles, at the time more often experience the broken eggs, especially in the apex. It's mainly occurs due to the Mycoplasma synoviae, and when the farmers regularly use proper thiamine or antimycoplasmal medicines, they can get rid of this egg cell apex abnormalities. And also, like other internal quality problem is apart from watery albumin, bloods and meat spots are very commonly observed. It is mainly due to the impairment of oviduct integrity. Sometimes it may spontaneously come and spontaneously resolve its own. Main reasons for these blood spots are mainly mycotoxins, which affects the oviduct, and chemical toxins, infectious bronchitis, and sometimes like non-specific etiology. And this is the main factor for the blood spots.
Okay. Got that, Dr. Gowthaman. Shifting a little bit from diseases, because it's too much for me to listen to the diseases and for everybody else as well. There are some specific questions which have been raised by the audience. First question is to Dr. Nataraja, please. You mentioned about the enzymes, basically, especially when you are using some alternatives to the maize. You mentioned about the enzymes. So which enzymes you are recommending, whether it's a cocktail enzyme or the specific single enzymes, that is what you are advocating, please. Dr. Gowthaman, I'm coming to you again. Wait.
Yeah.
Please switch on the camera and stay there. Yeah.
Coming to the enzymes, see enzymes, particularly the phytase is the first enzyme actually where the first enzyme of the choice for all the formulators or the nutritionists. The second is the NSP enzymes. Although corn soya diet actually may not perform give a great response to the these NSP enzymes, but still there is the xylanase, which has a cage opening effect. It can definitely release a lot of nutrients, which is hidden in the cell. And also there are these phytase molecule, it can act on only an external outside the cell wall. The inside there is like phytic acid also will be there, which is bound to some which will be inside the cell. So this xylanase will be opening the cage wall. This one cage wall effect, the cage opening effect will be there from the xylanase, so that there will be the phytase can degrade the phytic acid which is present inside the cell. These are all they act very complementary. If it comes to the alternate grains, we have broken rice, we have I don't think wheat and all actually in India, except for the sometimes only when the scarcity of maize is there or when the maize prices go very high, then only we'll use wheat. But using wheat, ground wheat, like actually there we don't get any effect actually. Definitely rather actually we'll get negative effect. Better to put in either directly without grinding or making only 2 pieces. Then only the action of enzymes can act on that actually, and there will be better utilization of the wheat. Otherwise, if you ground the wheat, I think we don't get any. There will be no use.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now, one or two questions, one after the other, to Dr. Chawak, which have come. Basically, Dr. Chawak, we would like to know a little bit more about the calcium tetany, which you tried to explain, the age group during which the birds are affected, and what can be done about it.
Yeah, actually, calcium tetany in breeders is because of feeding of high level of calcium, maybe more than 0.8% during growing period and pre-lay period. So for longer period, then we can see calcium tetany. And if the production is more than 2 to 3% daily going up, then we can see the mortality after feeding, and then there is no other lesion. Sometimes congestion of ovaries and other things will be there. But the treatment is important. We can give calcium and vitamin D3 along with probiotic and enzymes in feed. And definitely we should have a split feeding, and electrolytes and antipyretic drugs can also be used, such as salicylic acid. And sometimes liver and heart tonic also are useful for treating calcium tetany.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you very much. One question common to Dr. Phadke as well as Dr. Chawak, because people have been following different vaccination schedules. So can you, in the interest of the viewers, can you enlighten a little bit about the ideal vaccination schedule which should be followed in the present situation? First, Dr. Chawak, then Dr. Phadke, because Dr. Chawak will talk science, Dr. Phadke will talk field.
There is no ideal schedule as such. That depends on the farm conditions. Then
Okay,
only
then I'll go back to Phadke, sir. What do you suggest, Dr. Phadke, about the vaccination
For,
schedule?
for broilers, commercial broilers.
Yeah.
Commercial broilers, there are various different opinions. But in the healthy season, definitely they can go for the hatchery vaccinations for the ND and the IBD, and the field vaccination with Lasota. I think that will work. But during the summer months, I don't think that vaccination schedule work in our condition. So definitely for broilers, the field vaccination with the Lasota and the booster around 18 days and IBD, I think that works better. I did in the summer months. This summer months I didn't do the hatchery vaccinations, and I am not mortality wise I am around 6.5%. So I think that works for better for me.
Mhm.
And what it works may be suitable for all.
Yeah.
But in the long run, we have to be on the healthy seasons. The hatchery vaccination is good, but we have to keep the farmers' practice of doing the vaccines alive. Other than the farmers forget to do the vaccines, I think it is not good in the long run.
Yeah.
And for the broiler breeder vaccination, it's a very long schedule. If everybody suggests, I can give it on the WhatsApp group.
Please
What
do
we
that.
follow.
Yeah, please do that.
And
Whatever you are
it's not
following.
possible to give on the during this discussion because it's a very long schedule and a
I
lot
would
of
like to
vaccines
add
are
something about that one, about broiler vaccination. So there is much talked about hatchery vaccination, So
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead. I think your
So end of this-
connectivity.
yeah. So if you analyze the titles about the vaccinations, hatchery vaccinations age-wise, so I run 10th day, 20th day, 30th day, 40th day. Then as earlier correctly pointed out by Dr. Phadke, that there is window of opportunity for Gumboro virus to attack because this vector vaccines titers, protective titers don't get before 22nd day. So the observations are some subclinical Gumboro chances of subclinical Gumboro are there. So it is advisable to go in for vector vaccine at hatchery, ND, IBD. Then at 12th or 14th day, you can again give some intermediate strain of Gumboro vaccination on field. So that will take care and protect the gumbo, and the virus vaccine also start multiplying in the bursa. Otherwise, you will get regress bursa afterwards, and that is immunosuppression again.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
And in the present situation with the IBH prevalent, it's advisable to do the 0.2 ml IBH at day old, and breeder stocks can be vaccinated priorly every 10 weeks for the multi-strain IBH vaccine, that is 4, 8, A, B, and 11. And what the Chawak sir told that they isolated very few percentage of adenovirus, but I'm sure it's adenovirus only. And most of the cases, some of the cases we get the hydropericardium also, or the lychee disease. That was the first which took few years ago. So I think it's a subclinical one, and if gets the opportunity because of the toxins or the CAV, it definitely takes the upper hand. So breeders vaccination for the IBH with multi-strain vaccine, and they hold the vaccine with multi-strain 0.2 ml will work in present situation well for the farmers or the integrators.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
That's
you
my
very much.
suggestion.
Thank you very much. I will come back to Dr. Chawak with respect to some of the non-specific issues which are causing mortality in layer beds. And again, after that, I'll go to Dr. Gowthaman because he is from that particular area. The first is, of course, the prolapse. Second is the gout. And the third is fatty liver and hemorrhagic syndrome. So what are your views about these three completely non-specific, non-infectious kind of conditions which are affecting the layers now? Dr. Chawak first and Dr. Gowthaman later on.
Yeah, particularly for prolapse, mostly managemental and nutritional causes are there. So they have to look for this body weight and lighting program. That's very important. Then for fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome, so again, they can give biotin and choline. Choline is very much important for fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome, and they can alleviate the condition by giving choline at the proper dosing. And third thing is, what is that? These are the two conditions, isn't it?
The third one I mentioned about the gout.
Gout. Of course, gout, if they are getting it in growers, then definitely they have to go for feed, that is higher calcium levels. If they give it in a grower diet, then definitely the gout condition persists till laying stage also, because gout is irreversible condition. So the damage caused cannot be reversed. So we have to look for calcium, proper calcium and phosphorus at D3 levels at growing period.
Yeah, Dr. Gowthaman, your views on these three issues, these three non-specific conditions?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Most of the conditions, like most of the reasons already discussed by Dr. Anil Chawak. The major issue is that nowadays cleositis or ventilator prolapse is one of the biggest welfare problem in older hens, especially during summer months. There is no different etiology is being defined for this mainly for cleositis. It is it becomes some plaques. It is responding when we use salt, but in many plaques it becomes a persistent issue. It goes up to culling. The probable cause for this cleositis is like excessive light stimulation, especially in summer months. Whenever we give the midnight snacks, the light because of the excessive light, the incidence of prolapse and cleositis is more common in such plaques. And whenever we cut down this light, the prolapse is getting control. This is the major reason. The other ignored reason is that the high calcium in the diet. When we use calcium more than 4.5 to 5%, it leads to again prolapse. This is one of the ignored cause for gout in layers in the field condition. The other issues are mycotoxins and the poor body weight during the chick stage. when the body weight is poor, especially before the body frame development, especially under 12 weeks of age, this underweight layers are more prone for prolapse when compared to the birds with which attained the proper body weight. And other reason is that poor gut health is also one of the reasons for the clavicitis. And usually treatment is people used to give salt 2 to 3 grams per day per liter in drinking water for 5 days. Sometimes gut acting antibiotics works, and sometimes when it is infectious cause like injection with oxytetracycline long acting also works. But in many cases, all the treatments also fails whenever it is due to undefined etiology. Next issue is that gout. It is Dr. Chawak well explained about the reason for gout. It is mainly the persistent problem in early lay. Whenever the farmer mistakenly feed higher calcium in grower diet, which leads to kidney damage and leading to gout in early lay, and it goes up to 40-50 weeks of age, and it is poorly responds to the treatment. That is one of the issue with the gout. The main reason is that the calcium, and other issues that sometimes, occasionally, the nephropathogenic strain of infectious bronchitis, avian nephritis, or astrovirus. Mainly, it's a reason for gout in broilers. It's not in layers. And it requires long-term administration of ammonium chloride up to 5 to 10 kg per ton for a minimum 4 to 5 weeks in order to control the mortality at least 50%. This is about the gout. And another one is the fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome, very common in older birds, especially above 45 weeks of age. The reason is mainly high energy content, mainly whenever we use rice broken or rapeseed meal, which lead to the fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome. Other one is that summer months, calcium inadequacy lead to excess intake of energy, leading to the fatty liver hemorrhagic syndrome. Yes, sir.
I'll just add one point, sir.
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, because just check the energy levels in the during the phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3 regularly, and check the energy levels. And generally, some people know, like especially in the deworming, which is the third largest ingredient in the layer ration. Generally, people take a lot of the energy levels are highly variable. They take from 1600 to 2000. And in young layers, energy deficiency happens. In the water layer, more there will be surfeit of more energy, which which leads to the fatty liver. Therefore, we need to be careful about the energy levels in the phase 1 and phase 2 and phase 3. This is the major reason. Actually, sometimes energy surfeit will happen, and sometimes energy deficiency will happen, so that the birds will drain the energy from the tissues like liver, and all. They take the they will mobilize the fat from the liver and other organs. And it can also lead to fatty liver.
Yeah. One common question, which people have in their mind, and what is the right body weight at which the light stimulus should be started? Gowthaman, can you throw some light on that? Switch on the microphone, please.
Sir, again, it depends upon the breed. Each breed, they have given their manual, they have given their specific age for light stimulation and duration of lighting also, sir. It's if the farmer properly refer the guide and follow the lighting, they can get rid of this issues.
Cannot listen to you.
Can you hear me? Hello?
No, come again, please.
Sir, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Sir, again, it depends upon the breed standard. Like, each strain they have given their standard lighting program in their breeder manual, their growing manual. If the farmers properly follow their lighting schedule according to the breed standard, definitely they can get rid of this issue.
Okay. Thank you very much. Dr. Chawak, there is a problem, where, the people are facing the enteritis during the finisher stages in case of broilers. What could be the probable cause? Now, of course, Dr. Nataraja has already explained that in the finisher stage, we all are lagging behind. But there are some reasons behind that, and many people have found out that there's enteritis during the finisher stage, at the beginning of the finisher stage. What could be the probable cause, and what are the remedies?
Generally, when they are shifting from this, when they are shifting to finisher diet, generally they used to get enteritis. So many a times enteritis they are getting maybe because of infectious causes also, such as maybe if fly population is low or something like that. That could be the reason, or the energy levels.
Yeah.
Anil, to add to
I
this,
think
please
it's a
check the
mostly related to gut health issue and the management of the
Yeah.
AGPs and the probiotics and the enzymes and the shifting from starter diet to finisher diet. Many people use the different coccidiostat for the pre-starter and starter, and a different one for the finisher. So to change your could maybe the problem. It's a gut health issue, and it can be managed effectively if you manage the AGP and anticoccidial program along with the other aids like probiotics, acidifiers, and now the essential oils, etc.
Yeah, Dr. Phadke, one more thing which I wanted to ask you about, you are from the field. So there has been a lot of hue and cry about the size of the bird, which is, being marketed and sold. Again, here the science is on one side and the market or the commercial aspect is on the other side. I really want a little bit insights from you and also Dr. Ajay Deshpande on this, because recently we saw a lot of letters being circulated. People are taking oath that we will sell at this particular body weight only and all. But the pressure is on the other side. Pressure is from various other agencies to sell it at more body weight, and finally at the end of the day the customer is the sufferer. So I want your frank insight, both of you, Dr. Ajay Deshpande as well as Dr. Phadke, about this, and then of course I'll come back to Nataraja about it. Yeah, please, Phadke sir.
I think it's a very debatable subject, and many have the very different opinion. But majority of industry stands by selling the 1.8, 2.2, 2.4, 2.5. I think 2.4, 2.5 is the perfect size for as a producer and for the consumers also. But because of the new breeds, we can achieve 3 kg also in 47 days, 45 days also. And that 3 kg birds gives the more dressing weight for the traders. So somehow the traders community, they have become used to, or the shopkeepers have become used to getting the more meat from the dress birds. Or if they dress two birds, they cover the more customers like that. So practically on the we are getting premium rate for the 2.4, 2.5, 6 or 2.7 birds. But I won't suggest it's not in the interest of the industry. That's my personal opinion. As a businessman, I'll say 2.5, 2.4 is okay. But we face the premium rate for the 3 kg also, or 2.7 kg, particularly in the summer. So, and but increasing the rearing days it become problematic for the farmers. If the companies they are rearing the birds up to 50 days, 52 days, 54 days. So that is problematic for the growers, farmers, and they always complain. You lift our birds from 42 days or 45 days. But somehow because of the overproduction, they stretch up to 54 days, 53 days, even 60 days also I seen. So that's all because of the overproduction. Many times it happens. But that industry, we should try for the 2.4, 2.5, 2.1. And moreover, it was concerned with the chick cost also, or the hatching egg also, which sometimes they are exorbitant hatching egg cost. And so operators, we are operating with the purchase of hatching eggs. They are forced to dilute the chick cost in the production to give some 2.5, 2.6 kg weight. And tonnage wise also, the farmers get decent income. If he sells around 2.5, 2.6 or 3 kg, he gets better returns than if you sell at 2 kg. So that is all this subject has all pro and cons, and very debatable. So
Dr. Ajay on this,
that's
please.
my-
Yeah. Dr. Ajay, your views on this, please.
Sir, yes. It is quite a debatable and hot topic to talk about. But the businessman is a businessman, sir. He is there to earn money. He is to earn profit. The moment the trader is ready to give premium for 2 to 2.2 kg birds, everybody will produce 2 kg, 2.2 kg broiler. Because having a establishment of or installing a huge breeder farm with huge bank loans, to repay. So nobody will come to repay the bank loans. So I have to behave according to the economics of the business. That's what I mean to say. So traders are getting, consumer are getting whatever size they want to. They are getting 2 kg broiler also, 2.2 kg broiler also. Some traders who are portioning it and selling boneless chicken, they prefer 3 kg birds. So they are getting that quantum also. So it is the choice of the producer. So what is economical, he is producing. So, but enforcing somebody to sell 2 to 2.2 kg means you have to enforce everything. You have to control chick price also, you have to control hatching egg price also. So it is not practically possible because it is supply and demand game. So why producers are growing bigger birds? Because they are getting premium at some part of the country. At some part of the country, particularly in north, they are getting premium for 1.8, 2 kg broiler. So producers are growing 1.8 to 2.2 kg broiler over there.
Okay.
It all depends upon the economics of the business.
Thank you. Dr. Nataraja, 2-3 things about the feed formulation.
Yes, sir.
First is, of course, the egg weight. For proper egg weight, what are your suggestions to be incorporated in the formulation?
To reduce the egg weight, sir?
No, increase the egg weight. We want to export the eggs, na?
Acha. So look at the, definitely you consider the protein and methionine levels, M plus C levels, then naturally and the lysine to M plus C ratio increase to 90%, and you will be able to get the good egg size.
And how to
What
control
this
the
linoleic acid also, sir?
Linoleic acid, yes, India, if you are using maize, you should not have any problem. If you are using broken rice, actually try to use rice polish or oil to increase the egg size.
Yeah.
So with that egg size, how to control the prolapse in such cases?
Prolapse, yeah, body weight, then the better calcium management, don't increase calcium, because recently I have gone through an article where increased calcium, no, it leads to cloacitis also.
Yeah.
And cloacitis and can be predispose for prolapse. Control calcium, give a good source calcium, and also maintain calcium available phosphorus in a balanced manner. These things should help, sir.
Yeah. And Dr. Gowthaman, nowadays we are getting a lot of cases of RD in layer birds. Now, everybody has mentioned about RD, everybody has mentioned about LPAI and other things, but specifically no other complication in isolated areas. There are layer farms and we are getting the RD cases. What is required to be done about that? In spite of vaccination, we are getting it.
Yeah, first thing we need to rule out the proper diagnosis with the we have to do laboratory diagnosis whether it is coming RD alone or RD plus LPA, number one. Number two, we have to reschedule the strategy accordingly. And number three, eliminating the risk factors. As I said, like the body weight and the biofilm issues and ventilation issues. These are all the other factors has to be ruled out. It has to be dealt with individual farm-wise dealing with the risk factor. In India, the layer industry, our poultry industry often depends on excessive vaccination rather than studying the risk factor and eliminating it, what we fails to do. So unless until we point out and eliminate the risk factor, it's very difficult to get it.
Yeah, thank you. So now coming to the nearing to the end of the webinar, I would like all the panelists, to sum up whatever they have said in few sentences, maybe for 2 minutes. I would request all of them to speak about this present situation and the way forward, how to get out of it, how to proceed, and what are the immediate probable solutions to that. Let us start with Dr. Phadke.
Situation, all industry players need to understand things to control the production and to reduce the pressure on the system. When we produce more than the square foot available for the broiler placement, the any vaccination schedule or anything may not work. So that's one of the point. And proper vaccination schedule for the broilers is very important. Biosecurity, proper vaccination schedule. That's all is important. And I'll say to lobby for the HPI, legalize HPI vaccines in India. So that's the strong opinion. And IBH is still, it's a adenovirus infections only. And we need to work or investigate further on it for controlling it. And for future discussions, I'll like to add control of flies in broiler farms, and some ectoparasites like bedbugs in the breeders and the layers. So that's the major social issue. So I'll suggest some other webinar did that topic.
Now itself we'll
That's
touch that, and I would request Gowthaman to first speak about fly and odor problem in the farms, because we have faced it in breeders, we have faced it in layers. Now we are having that problem in broilers as well.
And bedbug is a major issue.
Yeah,
And it's some workers, they are reluctant to work if there are more bedbugs.
Yes.
And very difficult to control. Europe is facing the bedbug issue, and the Indian poultry industry. So that's a very challenging problem I need
Thank
to
you,
address.
Dr. Gowthaman. Please, your views on these two issues first.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's really one of the biggest nuisance for the poultry farming. It lead to the many public related issues, and people are often complaining to the district authorities, and sometimes the district authorities are visiting the poultry farms and asking their police and department to inspect and asking their opinion for closure of the farms because of the water and fly problem. But it is not an unmanageable issue nowadays. Good medicines and good medicines are available. There are two kinds of issues. The water problem is mainly due to ammonia or prolonged watery litter leading to the fermentation of the litter leading to the sour smell. So these are all the two issues leading to the environmental issues. So when we use extract, natural extract for 2 to 4 weeks in the feed, it is slowly controlling the water issues in the poultry farm. Number two, the fly issues. Fly issues are not hard to control like olden days. Nowadays, there are some live bacillus strains which is sold in India by some of the commercial companies. These strains are just when we add it into the feed, it is getting excited into the litter, and they slowly eating the larvae. And within 2 to 3 weeks, all the larvae will be eaten by this larvae. And even if they control the water also, this is the biggest advantage of this using this kind of products in the feed. And we are getting successfully solving these issues of the water and fly problem by using yucca extract along with this bacillus subtilis stain sold by some of the commercial companies. And apart from that, the nutrition mainly the use of good enzymes and toxic binders are required to tackle this fly and environmental issues.
Yeah,
it's not a hard issue. Now it is manageable. In my opinion, we are managing it.
Right. So next I come to Dr. Nataraja, please. How would you sum up whatever we have discussed so far with respect to nutrition and whatever you have spoken? If you have to summarize briefly within a few sentences, what are the important points and highlights which you want to share?
Yeah, sir, we have to follow the basics very properly. Good raw material quality procurement, good litter management, then combined with the rational use of additives also. This can help in actually achieving better gut health program. And also, we need to, because definitely the ingredients are under pressure. We need to, but still the checks has to be, the regular checks has to be there. Proper use of good acidifiers, mold inhibitors, and also feed mill. We can have achieve feed hygiene, which can ensure physical safety of feed. Also, actually, we can reduce the microbial load. And mycotoxin, use of good toxin binder, and have a good toxin binding program also. And along with proper rotation of coccidius management program, which can definitely help in achieving better good gut health.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Chawak, coming back to you.
Yeah, sir, definitely judicious use of antibiotics is very important. Only after doing antibiotic sensitivity testing, they should be used. And second thing is supportive prebiotics or probiotics, they should be added in feed along with proper acidifiers and proper coccidiosis control, and then even mycotoxin control program also to be taken properly. And then important is mycoplasma control program in breeders as well as in commercials, because of this mycoplasma, E. coli problems are getting worse. So that is very important. And basics, we are forgetting basics. So biosecurity is most important, and we should follow those measures properly. Yeah, that's also.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Chawak. So once again and again, I would say that we are coming to the same conclusions that partly we all are responsible for the situation which we are facing right now. The greed, the placement, the production, the overproduction, the negligence in the process of overproduction, all this has led us to this particular situation, and now we are scratching our head to come out of it. So the best thing is stick to the basics. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Don't overdo anything. Don't undermine anything. Don't overdo anything. Stick to your limits. That's the message from today's webinar. Follow the principles, follow the basics, and you will be through. You will be in business. Now, before I conclude, I would like to come to Dr. Ajay Deshpande, the president of the In Poultry, for his remarks and wrap up, and then we'll conclude the seminar. But before that, this is the first technical webinar of this type, and we will be having more and more of such webinars in future. And as Dr. Phadke pointed out, that for the next webinar, the topic should be, the fly control, the odor problem, the rodent control, and all that thing. So in the same way, whatever are the inputs from your side, you can send it on the WhatsApp, and we will include those topics in the subsequent webinars. Dr. Ajay Deshpande, please.
Thank you, Ranade sir. To sum up and take away message from all the eminent subject specialists, I would like to highlight 3-4 points. First and foremost is stick to the basics. Number one, if you are a breeder farmer, review your vaccination program. If you are a broiler farmer, you have to again review your vaccine program according to the local area. So you have to screen the birds and send the samples, blood samples of the breeders and broilers repeatedly in all seasons to estimate the titers and how they behave. Number three, as far as nutrition is concerned, you have to be very choosy while selecting the raw materials. So screener should be there for mycotoxins and all those things to avoid the immunosuppression and secondary viral outbreaks. Third thing is disposal of the dead birds. That is very important. Biosecurity and laboratory practices should be in place. So these are the takeaway messages. And from VIP, I would like to thank each and every panelist who spared their valuable time and contributed their expertise and knowledge and shared their knowledge for the entire poultry fraternity. I think there are many, 270 participants are there who joined our webinar, which is good that and acknowledgeable. So thank you everyone, and hope we will continue this webinar series in future too, with different topics, burning topics. So thank you everyone for joining today. It's from my side. Ranade sir, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So that's how it is. The some of the questions and some of the comments will keep on coming. You can directly write to us or WhatsApp about your questions, and of course the topics for the forthcoming webinar. From my side, I have concluded what I wanted to say. Stick to basics. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Don't overdo anything. Don't exceed the limits. Don't undermine anything also. You stay in limits, stay in the regulated frameworks, and issues won't arise at all. To summarize, I would like to thank everybody from my side and from all the participants for joining us and sharing their views for more than 1.5 hours. Almost it's 1 hour and 40 minutes we have been talking. And thank you for your insights. Thank you very much. Take good care of yourself. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
Bye.